YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and Aristodemos sent me a replay here. I'll link to his channels as well in the description. So this one is something he sent me, and he said it's a super strong Greenskin build versus Bretonnia. Boy, he wasn't liking this. He wasn't lying. This is like when the Greenskins realized that there is more of us than there is them, and we is bigger and we is harder than they are. There's gonna be a bunch of savage orc biggins mixed in with orc biggins mixed in with nasty skulkers. Now, skulkers have a little bit of AP, and they also have a smoke bomb. They're led by Skarsnik and a night goblin shaman. The goblin shaman has itchy nuisance, and I think sneaky stabbing. I could be wrong though, or I don't know. No. It's this right here, the Gorkle Fix It, which slows down charge speed. Basically, this army is a hard counter to cavalry, and it doubles as a hard counter to terrible Bretonnian infantry, which leaves Bretonnia with only a few units that might really be able to do a lot of damage to it, like archers. But what do? Do you see this coming, and do you just like hard counter with like a full-on spam of archers and mounted yeomen and stuff, and try and pick this thing apart? And will you have enough arrows to do it? Now, will cavalry still do damage to this army? Absolutely. I mean, all of these Greenskin infantry are going to be weak to the charge. I don't know, maybe if you stacked enough cavalry, you could actually, like, cycle charge these things to death. But it's not going to be easy, because they got a smoke bomb. Skarsnik has fermented fungi for the Lord or the heroes that come after you, so that's going to be a mess. Like, I mean, it is a pretty tough Greenskin build to counter, I think, is Bretonnia. And just check this out, for instance, like where this orc biggin connects with this peasant mob, it's just going to get deleted. And then, like, right here, the savage orc biggin hit this men-at-arms, deleted. I mean, Bretonnian infantry is not very good. I say not very good. It is terrible against Greenskin infantry pretty much across the board. And in this case, that's not going to be an exception. And you can see over here, I mean, a unit of savage orc biggins killed by the charge, but I don't think by attrition you can actually pull this out as the Bretonnian player. They have the Green Knight here, and they're supported by leadership with a Paladin, and they've also got the Fey Enchantress. The fermented fungi, look at this. Knights of the Realm, out of control. They're dead. So, I mean, the fermented fungi is like an auto-delete for any of the cavalry units that it gets used on, and you combine that with the smoke bombs going off or a Gorkle Fix It, you got problems. You got big problems. A vortex spell, maybe, if you can force this stuff to blob, use a vortex spell to kill enough of it so that you could then finish the rest. I don't know. That might be your best bet to try and deal with this, but this is definitely, I mean, about as hard a counter against Bretonnia as the Greenskins as you can get. I don't know if it's flawless. I don't know if it'll beat every build, but I think that the title that Aristodemos gave this one is pretty accurate. Super strunk build Greenskins versus Bretonnia. This is a mess. I've done builds similar to this in the past in some regards, right? Like, I remember playing against, say, like Wood Elves pre this DLC. And I would pick, like, Chaos, for instance, and I would just spam out a ton of shielded infantry and just bum rush the Wood Elves and overwhelm them. And that's kind of what this accomplishes here, except it's the same idea. Just bury your enemy in units that they're not going to have a great time killing. At least not cost effectively, right? There's just no way for them to be effective. Look at this. Paladin gets eaten up. Fey Enchantress is getting eaten up. I don't even think she has her Mist of the... Does she have Mist of the Lady? Yeah, it's working. I just doesn't see... I don't see the animation going off here. But yeah, it's working. Yeah, look at this. The Bretonnians just got absolutely buried in Du Bois. I mean, this was savage. Pun kind of intended because of the savage orcs. Look at this, even the Green Knight, who you would think, oh, they won't be any good versus him because they don't have magic damage. Again, just absolutely buried in orcs. Every single Bretonnian unit just absolutely buried in orcs. And then you had one wall, there's about to be another. So it is not looking good for Bretonnia. The Fey Enchantress is down. She's routing here. Some regrouped units in the back, but I mean, there's no way Bretonnia's got anything to do with it. All these infantry units back here, like, even if they all teamed up, probably couldn't kill just like a single unit of savage biggins. That's how incompetent these Bretonnian infantry would be against these Greenskin infantry. I mean, Yeah, so this is a savage beatdown. And Skarsnik is just like the icing on the cake here. He is hard for the Bretonnians to kill because he's got the fermented fungi, and he's really good against large, like very good. So I mean, it's an impressive put together here. This is the kind of stuff that makes Warhammer interesting to me. Now, obviously, you could ban this kind of thing if you think it ruins the game or something like that, goes into tournaments, but this is one of the reasons why I've always really liked the multiplayer in Warhammer 2, is because it's got a lot of diversity to it. Now, there was good multiplayer in other Total War games, like historical ones, like Shogun 2. It was a lot of fun. You know, it had a few quirks that I didn't like, but for the most part, it was a lot of fun in multiplayer. Rome 2 had some fun in multiplayer. Some games just got too one-dimensional, and they weren't as fun. But this is one of the reasons why I've always liked the multiplayer of Warhammer. The very dissimilar and factions create a very interesting dynamic in the multiplayer, in that you just never quite know what you're going to come up against. The different lords each have their own flavor that add like a unique sub-flavor to the factions, which are already quite unique. You don't really have a lot of copy-paste factions in Warhammer, and not when you're going from like race to race. You know what I mean? Maybe sub-faction to sub-faction, of course you would, but race to race, there's really not much copy-paste. And like I said, even with the lord diversity, like heck, even take the High Elves, for instance. Avalorn is a different animal than the High Elves. Not crazy different, but it's different because they can bring the Forest Spirit units. And even sometimes, in like Alethanar's faction, he's a sub-flavor of the High Elves there too, because he has some special units that the other factions can't bring. It's very interesting to me. Like I said, I really enjoy it. And I can't wait to see more of this in Game 3. I'm really excited. Like, I haven't played a lot of multiplayer in Warhammer 2 just because the game's been out for a long time. I do want to do some streams here in the new year and start playing some multiplayer with you all again from the Discord. But I do intend to get pretty involved in multiplayer in Warhammer 3 just because I want to get back into it. It's a good time. But I also love the single player. I don't know, I'm torn. Like, I really love single player and I like multiplayer. Single player is the easiest for me to do, just because of the time frame that I operate in. Like, as my boys get older, I get less and less recording time, because I have to spend more time with them. Now, I feel like I've done a pretty good job of still cranking out a lot of videos, but single player is a lot easier for me to crank out than multiplayer, because I don't have to coordinate matches with people. And then, you know, even if my recording time, say, is at 8 o'clock one night, or 10 o'clock another night, it won't matter. I'm not throwing off anybody's schedule. I just record when I get a chance to record. Whereas, you know, in the case of multiplayer, it might throw off someone else's schedule because I have to meet up with them. But yeah, in any case, that's why I record a lot of single player right now. But I certainly still want to cover multiplayer. I've thought of other ideas too, like just having another caster join my channel and cover multiplayer in depth all the time. You know, don't know how that'll go over. Would people like to watch someone else on my channel? I have no idea. And I wouldn't want people to think that I'd never play multiplayer again. But at the same time, like, I'm trying to face up to, you know, like, how do I deal with the realities of my changing life? Like, I don't need to quit my YouTube channel. I've still got plenty of time for a YouTube channel. But the types of things I can do on it, based on, like, my schedule change over time. But anyway, I appreciate Arisodemos for sending this in. Like I said, go check out the links in the description to go check out his content. Appreciate him being a member of the Discord and participating, and he's a great member of the community that we have, so definitely go check it out. Sarmation and Zotes here. I don't know if Zotes is just a name that he was using, or if these are two players that did something on his channel and he just sent this over, but this is brutal. Like I said, this is absolutely savage to the Bretonnians, and I don't think there's a whole lot they could do about it unless they knew it was coming and intentionally counterpicked it. And then I'm even thinking about that counterpick, like, what the world do you counterpick that with fermented fungi? Like, you get a flyer in there and it rampages, it's gone. Like, I mean, you can only have so many archers and stuff too. And then, I don't know, does this break, though? This might break. Would this break rules in, like, tournament play? Obviously, he didn't necessarily state whether this was tournament play. It may have just been, you know, like a fun ladder game or something like that. And then clearly this probably wouldn't be disallowed in the ladder based on the unit cap rules that CA implemented. But it makes me wonder. I don't think all this infantry would get past the tournament play, but then again, it might. I don't know. I haven't looked at the rule books recently. But fun stuff. I mean, you don't even have to get a great value out of any one unit here. Skarsnik got pretty good value, but nothing has to have, like, an amazing performance. you're just going to win by numbers and by having the hard counter to basically everything that Bretonnia has here. So in any case, GG. Hope you all enjoyed this one. Thanks to Aristodemos for sending over. Thanks to the players. And I'll be back soon with some more Total War Warhammer 2 content. If you have some cool replays or you want to send something in, you can always send it in. You can go paste it on the Warhammer 2 replays thread in our Discord. There's a link to the Discord in the description of every video. It's free to join. It's a fun community. You should come do it. It's got a link to a lot of other Discords. You can really get involved in a lot of great Total War Warhammer communities by coming in. Some of the founders of the Discord that founded for me, Jarl and or Appius and Wicked, both are very involved. Wicked especially in a whole bunch of the multiplayer community stuff. So come by, check it out. I think y'all would enjoy it, and you can also email them to me at airtotalwar@gmail.com if you want. But happy to check it out. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. Hope y'all enjoyed this. I will see you soon with some more Total War Warhammer 2 action.